I'm Corie Burke, and I'm your Yakima realtor, and I am on a journey to live simply and to achieve financial freedom. Today, we're going to talk about how to save money on entertainment. And now you may be surprised because not all of these are cost cutting. Some of these are giving you permission to spend a little bit of money in order to get a lot of value. So if you're trying to save for a house or anything, and you want to save some money on entertainment, this is one of those categories that you can really cut ruthlessly and still get a lot of quality of life and a lot of enjoyment and still meet all of your entertainment goals. So stick along and I will show you how to save money on entertainment. And if you're saving in order to buy a house, just know that you can email me at corieburck@gmail.com. And if I don't serve your local area, I will connect you with one of my worldwide referral partners. Number one, get to know your city's events calendar. It is amazing to me how many events are on offer in a city any given month that are completely free or even low cost. I've seen concerts, I've seen movies in the park, parades, all sorts of things that are a lot of fun and can be really, really great to take your kids to. You just have to go to your city's website, look at the events calendar. Usually they're all posted pretty far in advance. So if you're looking at kind of the beginning of the month, you should be able to see everything on offer that month. Number two, get to know the happy hours and the meal deals in your area. Now, this is good for anyone to know, but I know for me, especially being in an industry where a lot of networking is expected to happen over meals and happy hours, that when I was new in my industry, that was a big ask for me. I had a lot of people that were saying, hey, let's go get drinks, let's go get a meal. And I was like, I'm not bringing in enough money yet where I have that room in my budget. So if you were in that position or you're just wanting to cut down on that cost, I highly recommend you go to your Chamber of Commerce website and you look at the meal deals calendar. Most Chamber of Commerce websites have that because the restaurants submit these to the Chamber of Commerce so that they have another avenue for getting that information out. Now, if you have some favorite places, I highly recommend that you visit their website, their social media, or call them directly to see what their meal deals are. Because if you have some favorites, I know that those are the ones you're gonna wanna go to. Number three, invest in video game consoles. Just know that even if you don't think you're a video game person, that there might be a video game out there for you. These can provide thousands of hours of entertainment. Some consoles now are even loaded and preloaded with games. So when you buy it, that's the total cost of that console. There's a new Game Boy that's like that. There's a Nintendo 64 console like that, a Super Nintendo like that, where you're playing a lot of these games and they're all preloaded on there, so you don't have any additional costs. But if you're getting a video game console where there are costs to get the games, you can often find them at really steep discount at in-person stores, in the big bins and everything like that. And there's some great games that are always on steep discount. Even on the online store, you'll see that they have deals every month where you can pick up a game for $2 or $3 and you can get sometimes 20, sometimes hundreds of hours of entertainment out of it. So it can be a really, really great investment. There's also free-to-play games, things like Fortnite. Not my thing, but there are games like that are free to play. There's lots of free to play games, not just shooters. Some of my favorites that have given me hundreds of hours of entertainment and I still find really enjoyable are Stardew Valley, Skyrim, and Overcooked. I feel comfortable playing those just about any time and I can get entertainment and enjoyment out of it still all these years later. Number four, know what discounts you are entitled to. If you are a first responder, a teacher, a doctor, a veteran, make sure you're asking for those discounts that you may be entitled to. And in my area, there's actually another discount that comes around pretty often because we have a lot of vineyards and breweries and things like that here. We actually have an industry discount that's pretty prevalent here. So if you work in the beer or wine industry, most institutions that also do that offer that discount to their competitors, right? And it's just a way to have camaraderie in that industry. Number five, national parks and state parks. You actually may have more near you than you think you do. So even if you think you don't have any near you, double check. I know I have a state park that's less than 5 minutes away and a lot of people don't even know about it. And my husband and I take our dogs on walks there all the time. These passes are not usually free, but they're usually relatively cheap. They often have discounts attached to them, and you may even be eligible for a free one if you fall under certain categories like senior categories or military veteran categories. Getting out into nature is so good for you. Mind, body, soul, it's so good for you. You will never feel like your time is wasted out there, and it can be such an all-encompassing good thing for you as a human being. So these places, they're different every time you go. So investing in something like that you can do on a regular basis can be really beneficial. And just know that sometimes there are hidden gems. One of my favorite hidden gems is down in Klamath Falls, Oregon. A lot of people go and they stay in Klamath Falls in order to go on the rivers, go to Bend, Oregon, which is a really popular recreation spot here in the Pacific Northwest. A lot of people love Bend, and I love Bend too. But one place I didn't know existed right near there is Lava Beds National Monument. Lava Beds National Monument is accessible with an America the Beautiful pass, and it is full of amazing caves. You can explore them. It's all different levels of caves, so some may be more difficult to traverse and to navigate, and some are pretty easy. Walk right in, walk it out, right out, no ladders or anything to do with that. But some are a little bit more difficult, but they have all skill levels. And it's amazing how many they have and how cool they are. And it's something that you're not seeing every day, especially as an adult, having not done a lot of caves, I found it to be really awe-inspiring. Number 6, get to know your state or short drive destinations. If you are in a position right now where you're trying not to take expensive vacations, but you still want to be able to have a vacation and recreate, long weekends, short trips, even a week trip, if it's more local, it's going to be much more affordable. If you have some serious financial goals right now, it may even be beneficial to say, hey, we're not getting on a plane to travel for the foreseeable future until we meet this goal. But it doesn't mean you can't travel, and doesn't mean you can't have a good time. It just means that you're really getting to know your local amenities that you have available to you. I am the part in central Washington, so I can get into mountains, I can get to lakes, I can get to the beach, I can get to a rainforest, I can get to Seattle, I can get to Portland, all with 5 hours or less. So it's all very drivable for us. Number 7 is streaming services. Now, most of us are familiar with these, most of us have them. Some of us have more than we need. I do think they are a worthwhile thing to spend money on because they can provide hours of entertainment, but I would tell you to be intentional and mindful about how many you have, and keep in mind that you can always put these on rotation. So I know some people that say we want one that has live TV at all times, but then we can rotate the ones with like stagnant movies and TV resources, and they just rotate between them. The cool thing about that is when you actually cancel your subscription with a lot of these services, they're often coming back to you with really steep discounts. I know I just did a monthly subscription for Peacock, was about $8. There was some true crime stuff that was only available on that service and on that platform. I was like, okay, I'll pay for a month to be able to watch this series that I want to watch, and then I'll cancel. And I went to cancel, and they offered to reduce it to $2 a month for the next 6 months. That was a really steep discount. I said, that's totally doable. That definitely works within our budget. And then I'll continue to have access. There's a lot of exclusives on Peacock that I was excited about. So I said, you know what? I'll go ahead and keep it. Or if you fully sever that, you will get emails offering you discounts after the fact. Number 8, frequent your library and make good use of their resources. It's not just books. While books are great, I love books, it is not just books there. You can use their computers, you can borrow board games, video games, there's community events, workshops, classes. There are so many ways to engage with your community there. It is the pinnacle of the good that government can do when we band together to be able to provide resources to people. Your library is a magical place. You can also they usually now have streaming video services that you can access at home, something like a Netflix. It's not usually Netflix. There are ones that are library sponsored that have things like PBS specials and things on there. And there's also a library streaming audiobook app usually as well. The one that's available. My library is Libby. I listen to usually 1 to 2 audiobooks a week, completely free, provided through my library. We're adding all that up. If I was paying for it on Audible, it's at least $100 a month. So I'm glad that I'm not paying that, and I love supporting my local library. Do not overlook your library. It's a magical place. Number 9, have at-home date nights, board game nights, and hosting dinner with friends. You do not need to spend a lot of money to spend a lot of quality time with people. If you are in a friend group where you guys are usually trying to go out to be able to spend time together, have a conversation, reorient, try to get more of those things to be in at somebody's house. You can do potluck style, you can bring games. You can honestly, even doing the same thing you would be doing out, but at home will be cheaper. So really band with your friends. You will never regret spending time with friends or family. Don't feel like you can't have time with your friends because you can't afford to go out. Just have the conversation. Most people get it. Most people respect it. And honestly, we can usually have a better time at home anyway. Number 10, bring a picnic to a seemingly mundane activity or event. So one of the things we like to do, our local dog park actually has picnic tables at it. So we might take our dogs to the dog park and then just like bring a sandwich and, sit and chat and eat there at our dog park. And that's a way that we can kind of have like a little impromptu event or a date that is not cost prohibitive, and it still kind of makes it special. You can do the same if you have kids and you're taking your kids to the ballpark and maybe you can't get back home and back, and so it's like, well, I'm just going to sit in my car here at the ballpark. Why not bring some charcuterie with you and maybe in your Stanley put a little seltzer and have a meal with your spouse, right? So that way that you have like a little date night there at the ballpark where you'd just be sitting in your car waiting for your kids to get done anyway. There you go. There's 10 ways to save money on entertainment and recreation in your budget. Please leave your tips down below. That way we can all see what you're doing and maybe we can steal those as well. Don't forget, if the reason you're saving money is to buy or sell, whether it's in the Yakima Valley area or somewhere else, please email me. My email will be down below, but it's corieburck@gmail.com. Thank you.